A lot of the men that I used to be attracted to, they don't got ugly as and they think you say that women hit the wall fast, but they hit the wall fast. I'm talking about gaining weight, bare bellies, receding hairlines.
Well, that's the problem. Y'all always worried about these physical features. People are going to change. People look like one thing in their 20s and they look like another thing in their 40s and their 50s and 60s. So if that's what you basing everything on about dating people, then baby, you gonna be single by yourself because that changes. Shit drop and everything. That's a part of life. Getting old.
And overall, just not taking care of themselves. So if anything, it's really men that need to be in the gym, starting at a young age.
Girl, what? No, it's these women that need to get in the gym because men, baby, they can go in the gym and in 6 months they ass then slimmed up. Us women, we go to the gym and that shit take about 6 years. So no, everybody just needs to take care of themselves in general. Like, it's not a man or a woman, it's everybody in general needs to take care of themselves. Period, point blank.
These men need to get their asses in the gym. Cause you can look at a man and tell that he don't take care of himself.
And this is one of those situations where the pot is calling the kettle black.
I'm going to share a story with you why I don't date women with children. And believe me, I wish I was creative enough to make up these stories, but I'm not. Unfortunately, this really happened to me. So I'm going on my third date. I get invited over to her house, and she wants to watch a movie and have some takeout. So I show up with takeout. She answers the door, and she's bawling her eyes out, which was obviously very unexpected. And she begins to explain to me that her dog is super sick, and her ex has her dog, and she doesn't know what to do, and he's going to die, and all this. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's like, I have to go. Can you watch my kids? Now, in a normal situation, I probably would have just left, but I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay. I sat there for an hour and a half, played Legos with a 5 and 3-year-old, till her friend showed up, and then I left. Welcome to my life, dating in 2025.
Wow, I did not expect that. You know, I thought it was going to be like the typical story where a woman goes out to dinner with a man and she demands that he like also pay for some to-go meals for her kids. Look, guys, I'm going to tell you, as a prior single mom, it is not the end of the world, huge red flag, purely out of her being a single mom. But I will on the hill that it is a red flag for a single mom to introduce her kids to you super early on, because that means that you are not the first one that she has introduced them to that early on, and you are not the last. She is essentially desensitized, especially for a woman to go as far as to just leave her kids with you. I mean, for single moms, for moms in general, her children are the most important things in her life, and she will be protective of that, even if her dog ends up before she gets there. So yeah, safe to say, this guy dodged a bullet.
No one on this app is talking about the number one reason why marriages are ending up in divorce nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong. Women are making a lot of mistakes in marriage. Of course, men make a lot of mistakes in marriage. Women making a lot of mistakes. But the number one mistake that is happening, I believe, is on the man's side. It's the fact that the man forgets that he is part of a team. Now, I've worked with a lot of men, spoken to a lot of men as a men's coach. And the number one thing that I see is there's a certain point within the marriage or the relationship where a man starts feeling overwhelmed and he stops growing. He stops growing, he gets complacent, and he stops being present within the relationship. Now, the woman is just going to notice that, call it out. And she's getting fed up with it, okay? But she calls it out, maybe not in a nice way, maybe not in a nice tone, but she will always call it out and be like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? You said you were going to do this. All of these kind of things, because she sees like, I had a teammate next to me and all of a sudden I have somebody, let's say you're on a boat and you're both supposed to be rowing. All of a sudden you just stopped. You just stopped. She's like, just keep rowing, right? We're in this together. We're a team. That's what she knows. But he starts thinking that she's the enemy. Starts thinking that she's the enemy because guess what? All he wants is peace. I just want peace and quiet. Why doesn't she just shut up for a moment? But that's the number one thing that's ending your marriage. It's complacency, men. When you stop, you make her have to pick up extra slack. Life is not necessarily easy. Life will not necessarily give you peace. And if you forget that your wife is the number one teammate in this world, that is why your marriage is ending. So don't look at her like the enemy. She's pulling you forward.
And what you're seeing from a lot of these men the men that women are calling or hoping to be chivalrous, the very men that they're saying, oh, he's not chivalrous, he's not a good man, he's not a gentleman, you don't know what you're talking about, quite frankly. A lot of brothers still know how to, be thoughtful, plan, and do all of these other things. It's just, first of all, you're disrespectful. Second of all, you're not really putting out anything that would make that man want to really get to know you. There ain't nothing to get to know. You're acting like a loser.
Ladies, here's the thing. We want men to be husbands. We want the rings and the things. But family, we cannot advocate for marriage without addressing the full picture, the elephant in the room. Women aren't bred to be wives today. Past generations have raised us up to pursue a career. Forget the man. He's an afterthought. Because when the man act up, you have an out, that degree that you can fall back on. And now, family, we have women who have been bred to be more of a husband than a wife. Let's keep it real. What is society teaching us? Look at the propaganda. Look at the social media. We can't continue to come at men for their lack of commitment, but not also state the obvious. There's a shortage of women worth making long-term or lifelong commitments to. We aren't training up wives. We're training up hypersexual, petty, money-hungry, cannot take any accountability, insecure, immature, women that can't even cover a pot, let alone a man. Women with the mentality that anything goes as long as I'm making $1 from it. Hyper-independent, attention-seeking, career-obsessed, not nurturing, selfish, girlfriend at best women. We want men to lock things down. And I agree, men should. But we gotta give them something worth committing to. And our media isn't pushing that agenda. It's keeping us single. So family, ladies, stop buying the lies of culture. That's what's keeping us single. Let us start focus on becoming the wife that God has created you to be.
Today we have 3 things that are actually green flags. I know I talk a lot about red flags and all of the bad that women do out here today, but today we're going to get into some of the good things that you guys probably didn't think about. Number 3, leaves her phone face up. If you guys are on a date or you're at dinner, she leaves her phone face up, or if she goes to the bathroom, leaves her phone at the table. If you ask her, oh, let me see your phone for a second, she hands you her phone unlocked, that's a green flag. She ain't hiding anything. No woman that's hiding something from you is gonna leave that phone unattended. That's for sure. Especially unlocked. She ain't handing you her phone. So green flag. Number 2, hasn't been places. Guys want a girl that hasn't been anywhere. You wanna know why? Because he wants to be the one to show her places. Nothing worse than if you're gonna go on a date to a nice restaurant with a woman and she's like, oh yeah, I've been here before. It was all right. It ruins the whole beauty of the process of bringing your woman to something nice. She's already been there with another guy. It's just not as special anymore. And number 1, doesn't know anybody. You don't want a lady who knows everybody. Nothing worse than that. You walk into a restaurant and the whole staff, oh, hi! Hi, Sarah. Haven't seen you in a while. It's like, who you been here with? Why do they all know you? You go to the bar, she knows the bouncer. You don't want a girl that knows everybody. So these are 3 green flags that are more low-key. You got to put a little bit more time and effort into figuring out if they're present. But if they are, some really good green flags, some good qualities. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk today, and I'll see you at the same time again tomorrow.
If you're a woman, your algorithm probably looks like this.
Sometimes I them on the first date.
We do not need men.
I would leave my man if he lost all his money.
I'll cheat on him back if he cheat on me.
Men, our algorithms, for some reason, seem to be primed much differently.
You're just a
They gear towards the personal development side, how to walk, talk, make money, get jacked, improve your circumstance, stoicism. This is a massive generalization, I know, but if you were to ask most people, they would agree that this falls in those buckets for the most part. Why would they want to make one gender aim for self-improvement and make the other one aim for self-destruction? Hey, it's me from the future. Just want to say I love my life. Genesis shows the pattern. The serpent goes for Eve not because she's weak, but because she is the gate of life, motherhood, and the household. Mind you, Adam is not without fault here. He still failed to lead and protect. The woman was deceived and the man got passive. If you wanted to break society, you start by breaking the family. If you want to break the family, you go after the bond between man and woman. If you want to break that bond, you confuse women about marriage, independence and motherhood. Why would you attack women first? Because women shape what men pursue. If you change what women reward, you shape who men become. If women rewarded traits like leadership, discipline, responsibility, men would become that. But if women were somehow primed and trained to reward things like chaos, promiscuity, emotional manipulation, shallow attention, then no amount of male self-improvement content is going to fix the end result. That is the trap I want you to understand. The system tricks men into thinking they're leveling up, but then it trains the reward system women to value something completely different. This is a generalization and also a theory. There are plenty of good men out there, and there are also plenty of really good women out there as well. If you're a man and you happen to find yourself one of those women, the answer to all this is have as many babies with her as physically possible.
You know, a lot of these modern women are upset that men aren't really asking them out anymore. You know, it seems like, you know, when I was in my 20s or my early 30s, men seem to be asking me out. They seem to be more interested. What's going on? And even in your mid 20s, right? You might not have as many men, or the men that you want, asking you out. Well, if you don't have the men asking you out that you want, that might have to do with how you present yourself. Number one. Number two, if you have men asking you out, but not as frequently, then, you know, that might just be them. But it also might be that, you know, a lot of these men feel like maybe the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I got to sit up here and I got to, honestly, I got to tap dance. I got to perform. What are we doing here? Do you like me or not?
80%. I'm going to say 80% of women do not appreciate men and 20% do. And I'm one of the 20. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the 80% of the women feel like things should just be handed to them and given to them just because they are a woman, right? And then you have women that are daddy's girls, right? Their dad has done every single thing for them, right? So they expect the next man to do the same thing, not knowing that is not his job to do every single thing for you. That is your father's job. Your father took on that role to do every single thing for you because, again, that is your father. But your man or your husband, that is your partner. And a lot of women don't understand this is your partner. This is not your dad. So your job as a woman is to reciprocate the energy that he is actually giving, right? You all are supposed to show each other appreciation. It is not a one-sided thing when it comes to relationships. That's why I feel the way I feel about that. And as far as the appreciation part, well, like, where are the thank yous? You know, a lot of men don't get the thank yous. I don't care if it's opening up the door, buying you some food, bringing you some flowers. Where's the appreciation? Do you deserve these things? He's not obligated to do anything for you, right? The choice is his. He's doing it for you because he cares about you. He loves you. He rocks with you. And you're not supposed to take advantage of things like that. But while he's doing all these things for you, what are you doing for him, right? So that's where the appreciation part comes in. Hey, y'all, it's Pretty P. I just did an amazing interview, baby, with 80 the Kingmaker. Understand what I'm saying? On the King's Corner podcast. Make sure you follow him on Instagram so you can be notified when the episode drops. And guess what? You heard it here first. Yeah.
I saw a video of my wife having sex with her ex while using her laptop. Well, we are off to a hell of a start on this story. I see why I caught your attention. She didn't know it was there and she feels sorry for me. I struggle with the thought of it, flashbacks, and the thought of the possibility of other videos existing in the past or anywhere else. We've been married for a few months now and we're in our early 20s. I love my wife and she's the best person I've ever met. It's just hard to deal with. Having your partner be your trigger for that is pretty rough. Maybe because I'm young or maybe because I'm jealous, or it affects men a lot deeper than women. I don't know. Look, gang, I don't think anybody, except people who have that particular kink, really likes the thought of their current romantic partner having had encounters with prior partners. It's not something that most people find hot. In fact, it's something that most people that I know, and myself included, don't find hot. We find it the opposite of hot. We find it uncomfortable. And everybody's got their phones, and everybody's sending nudes, and everybody's taking videos, because everything's all hunky-dory and wonderful in the relationship, and we're always going to be together. But that's not really how it works most of the time in real life. And then there's all these videos and photos out there floating around, and you have them on your phone or you have them on your laptop. And it's ripe for something that your partner might accidentally stumble upon or intentionally stumble upon thinking they want to see it. What I'll tell you is you don't want to see those things. Just like when people have affairs, they think when they find out about the affair, they want to know every detail of what the person did. You don't. You don't actually want to know it because, yeah, I'm sure your imagination is probably worse than reality, but reality's pretty bad too.
Here's what it means when your ex moves on very quickly. I'm talking like from the day it ended to about 2-3 months afterwards. Number one, they can't be on their own. Someone that cannot be on their own, doesn't know how to take accountability, hasn't had the time to heal and grow. And for them to be on their own would mean that they would have to think about things. And typically people that can't sit with themselves will try to distract themselves. Number two, they're trying to fill the void. So they need a distraction, thus they go looking for the dopamine. But typically the dopamine and the bonding chemicals, after about 3-6 months, it fades away. And once relationship problems come up, what do we think happens? That's typically when a relationship is truly tested and will end. And number three, they're trying to replace you. They might not know it yet, but essentially they're looking for you in someone else. And I'm not saying that people don't move on or end relationships because they realize that the other person isn't for them. But someone that moves on very quickly is someone that hasn't fully processed something. There is no way that someone just switches off one day. This is an indication of someone showing you exactly who they are and how they process things. So if you were the one that was broken up with, that is heartbroken, that is stuck, I want you to ask yourself this one question. Do you really want to be with a person like that? Someone that doesn't know how to reflect, doesn't know how to process emotion, doesn't take time to heal and grow, but repeats their patterns with the next person, monkey branches. I don't think you do. And sometimes the actions of another person is all the closure that you need.
And you know, y'all keep on thinking because a man is opted out of dating and just stopped dating, that the man is bitter, that the man just hates women, when it's really just a cost-benefit analysis. That's it. Am I getting what I put out? And if I have to look at myself and say, I need to do better, well, maybe I don't need to be dating at that point in time. So that's one way. But if I look at myself and I'm saying, okay, I've got a couple of places that I can improve, right? But, you know, I'm kind of still looking. But when I look out there and I see maybe 2 or 3 things that I have to take care of versus you thinking that you're better than me and you saying, well, you got 10 things to take care of and I have none. I have none to take care of. A man is going to look at that and be like, delusional. So she says, I have tons of things to take care of, but she has none. I'm self-aware. I know there's probably a handful of things that I could do better, but she's saying she ain't got nothing to improve on. She's not even standing there thinking about what she can improve on. It's time for me to go sit down somewhere.
Bust that coochie open. Okay? That's what they want.
No one's flying you out just because you're cool. No one's like, does the guy look like does he look like FaZe? He's not investing in your streaming career. He's not just bringing you out here for no reason on private jet. Come on, use your brain.
He is not wrong. A man is not flying you out because he thinks that you're just so cool and you're not like other girls and you're just so dry, gorgeous and beautiful. No. They want some coochie. Okay? And I know a lot of girls that's willing to give it up to them. But they know what they walking into. Okay? I would bet the majority of entertainers are looking for girls, scouting out girls. Instagram back page. If we being for real, Instagram back page. They getting on Instagram, they scouting around, they looking for girls. We all know what go down in Dubai, okay? And they're trying to fly you out, not because they want to know what your favorite color is and get to know you as a person. They don't give a about that. Bust that coochie open, okay? That's what they want. And again, I need you to understand that so that when you go down there and they want you to bust that coochie open, you're not blindsided. Or if that's not something that you're into, then you just don't go. Like I said, I don't know who the lied to y'all and told y'all that that's not what's happening, that these girls are just sitting on not doing nothing. Everything comes at a price. Everything. And it ain't always monetary. Okay? Everything has a price on it. You may not be paying anything with money, but you will pay with your sanity, your peace of mind, and that ass. Period, point blank. So understand that.
You said you wanted a man who was compassionate, who was respectful, who honored you, who placed you first, who made sure that he was romantic, that he was considerate of you. You told me what you wanted and I became the man that you said you wanted. I loved you. I was chivalrous. did my best to take care of us to the best of my ability, pushing myself psychologically, emotionally, physically, to limits that I didn't know that I could push myself to prove my love, to show you how much you meant to me and that I took this job of being your man seriously. But it was never met with genuine appreciation. It was never met with reciprocity. When I hurt you and you made it known to me, I did my best to fix it. But every time I told you you did something to me, somehow it was turned around and the issue that I had was suddenly my fault. I thought that after I had done enough, that I had done good enough and sustained my efforts long enough, that there would be a finish line till one day you would finally see that I have been trying, that I do love and that you mean the world to me. But I got to a day and to a point where I recognized that no matter what I do, no matter how much I paid for or how much effort I put into us, you will never see me for the man that I am, because it was never about us. It was about you. And to have loved and to have given my best and for it not to be appreciated, it broke me. It broke me in ways I didn't know that I could be broken. And so I'm taking some time to heal and to recover so that this next relationship that I get into, that I don't make the woman who is trying to love me bleed because I never dealt with the brokenness from the woman who didn't.
You guys are really out here in relationships with women who don't want to do the deed anymore, huh? Couldn't be me. I know the tale like the back of my hand. You're 6 months into the relationship. You're saying, oh, she doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I should go to the gym. Maybe I need to get a haircut, something. No, you're going the complete opposite way you're supposed to be going, brother. Snaggletooth McGee over there is getting it on the daily, and it's because he did what he was supposed to do. Because Snaggletooth McGee knows that women's sex drives are right here. They entirely have to do with what they feel and what they think about you. So you can look all kinds of goofy in the face just like me and be completely fine because you put the dumbbells down and you picked her up instead. And I know what they're thinking right now. Oh, I know what they're thinking. Women don't like nice guys. Ugh. No, women don't like guys who don't have the capacity to be mean. Put yourself in their heads for a second. Why the would they be with you if they didn't think that you could really be dangerous if it came down to it? I'm not going to explain that one. You need to think about it. The woman's sex drive in a relationship is based entirely on how you treat her. Are you still flirting with her? Are you still making her feel special? Are you still being kind and responsible and following through on your word? Because I can tell you right now that a woman losing her sex drive in a relationship and losing her respect for you are almost always the same thing. So if she isn't wanting to do it as much, you need to start looking in here and not out there.
You know, modern women continue to ask, well, why is it that men are opting out of dating? Well, you know, you try being drained of your money, your energy, your resources. Something always got to be expensive. You always got to take them to an expensive place. You try doing that type of stuff for multiple women and see if you like dating. You try paying $150 fee every single time you go out and see how old it's gonna get fast. Even if a man has a date, one date a month, that's $150 bill. That's $150 bill. When the new game comes out, with $150, I could have bought that game and some of the DLC. I could have gone out with the boys, taken myself out. I could have put that money back towards a trip. I could have put that money in my investment account. There's so many things I could have done with that money besides spending on somebody that I know don't like me. That's how a lot of men are thinking now. It's not that you're a bad person. It's just that in a lot of these situations, I'm burning through my money and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Where are all the good men? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, ladies, but they're done. They've walked away from today's modern women. They're done with dating, done with marriage, done with relationships. And no, ladies, it's not because they're scared, like you all are telling each other is the case. No, the real reason they're leaving is because they don't see a point in relationships anymore. Because there is no point in relationships for today's men. They're expected to give while getting nothing in return. They're told that they need to honor, respect, and provide for women while never seeing it reciprocated to them in any way. They've been told time and again that they aren't needed, aren't wanted, aren't necessary, and that they should just go away and leave women alone. And ladies, we've heard you loud and clear. We've said, fine, if that's what you want, we're going to give it to you. And that, ladies, is where these good men are, off doing their own thing and enjoying life, because they are done dealing with the drama, narcissism, and insane expectations most of you have. Men are done with never being acknowledged, let alone appreciated for all that they do. So if you're wondering why all the men have walked away, there's your reasons.
How do you handle being in a relationship with a provider and a protector, but not emotionally available?
But you don't. There's peace in being with a man who understands you. When you're dating, you are sitting across from someone who possibly may have to help you bury your parents one day. Who's somebody who possibly may have to call that funeral home when you just too emotional. This is what we're talking about. We ain't talking about a man who gonna pay for it. We talking about the man who's going to guide you through it, who gonna make sure you're all right after the situation is over with. And all I'm saying, baby, is if he ain't emotionally available, you don't be available at all.
Listen, nobody is perfect. We are not gonna get nobody perfect out here, sweetheart. And the fact of the matter is, for a lot of men that have the provider mentality, that's an old school mentality. Yes. All right, let me tell you. Yes. And a lot of old school men and men in general have a hard time expressing their emotions that way and being emotionally intelligent. A lot of them just emotional. So what happens is they lack somewhere. So would you rather have a man that's very emotionally intelligent, but he wants you to go 50-50? Would you rather have a man that's very emotionally intelligent, but he kind of soft and he not a protector? So you getting some things and some things you aren't. And you've been there 5 years, sweetheart. So you benefit in some type of way. Yeah. So
guys are not good at marriage, all right? It's not our fault. We weren't prepared for it like women are. Your whole life is built just preparation for marriage. Look at every toy you played with. When you're a baby, they give you a baby doll. So they give you a baby when you're a baby. You don't even know you're alive yet, and they're like, look, I would probably start figuring this out. Like, this is where it's going. Then they give you Barbie and Ken. They live in a little house together, and that is where you learn how to make drama. You get the best. You're the best. Then you would play house. Like you would like fake vacuum. Just fake vacuum with your friends. That was awesome. And it's weird because like when I see my wife vacuum now, I'm like, she is living her childhood dream. She's made it. As a guy, we don't have any of that. What do we play fort? You got to keep everybody out of where you are. Especially girls. The only toys we had were Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Those are not even real things. None of them had wives. They weren't married. I never played with my Ninja Turtles, and I had them going to fight Shredder. And then Michelangelo was like, hey, can y'all give me 2 seconds? My wife just showed up, and she looks furious about something. What do you want from me? And she's like, what are y'all doing? What's that April skank doing here? You're like, listen, she's a reporter.
The happiest wives, are submissive, and the happiest husbands are dominant. And I'm going to explain why. Because there's only one relationship dynamic where a man and a woman actually thrive together. And it's the exact one that you've been programmed to hate. Look at the couples around you. Really look. The ones that are constantly fighting, those are the two people fighting over who has the power. Every decision is a negotiation. And every disagreement is a fight. There are two leaders locked in a power struggle, and their nervous systems don't get a single day off ever. But now, look at the calm couples, the ones that feel easy to be around, right? He leads, she trusts the lead. He decides, she follows. And before you scream oppression, let me educate you on what it actually is. It's specialization. He carries all of the weight, the direction, the protection, the decisions, everything. And she protects something that his strength can't touch. the soul of the home, the emotional energy, the softness, the sanctuary. He protects the house and she makes it a home. Take either one away and you don't get equality. You get two hands on one steering wheel and that car is going straight off the cliff. Here's the part that just flies over people's heads. Attraction follows polarity. Period. Masculine and feminine are magnets. They attract because they're opposites, but make those poles identical, they repel. And that's how most of you become roommates with a mortgage. That's why so many equal partnership couples haven't even touched each other in months. They didn't lose love. They the polarity. So no, a thriving relationship isn't fixed in couples therapy. It's lived. He leads, she follows. Simple. Do you disagree with me? Or do you agree?
Woman goes through her man's phone while he sleep. She checks the messages, social media, everything. He wakes up and finds out. Now he's upset. So the question is she wrong? Or being in a relationship mean there should be no secrets?
Was he mad at? That she found something?
No,
or that
did you see? That's how women, y'all are. See how your brain, I said, I didn't say anything about any of that you're talking about.
Well, like,
I specifically said a woman goes through her man's phone while he sleep. She checks his messages, social
I don't
media,
know why she, okay.
everything.
That's
he
a
wakes
lot
up
of
and finds out.
Okay. So is
she wrong? Or there shouldn't be no secrets in the relationship?
Yes and no. Yes and no. There should be no secrets in a relationship. Facts.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Are you in a relationship or are you married?
Relationship.
If you're just dating, you probably shouldn't be going through anybody's phone.
A relationship or marriage, you shouldn't be going through it.
I mean, unless you have reason. Do you have reason to go through it or not?
Is she wrong or not?
If she felt like he wasn't being honest about something and she needed to find out if she was about to get an from some other woman, I guess she could have gone through it. I don't know. But like, obviously going through someone's phone is an idea, but it also like, it's not good if she thinks something's going on and he's not being honest. And how many men are going to be like, what's up? Are you good? You got something going on? Yeah, babe, actually, I just got a naked photo from a girl that I met that I gave my number to. How many men are going to say that?
How many women can handle the honesty?
I don't know.
Okay.
So
no, it's not. I just want that.
Really, honestly, if I'm asking and I genuinely want to know, then yeah, I would want to know.
And then if he told you the honest truth, hey,
at least you told me. Now we can now we can talk about it.
You know, a lot of these modern women don't really understand that it seems like in the dating market or, the way it's going, because you're asking, where are the good men at? How come I can't find a good man? Well, it seems like for a lot of these good men, they're stable. They're the stable men. These men are involved in their community. But you want excitement. You want somebody that is going to shock your system. You want somebody that's going to make you feel alive and send you to the moon for a night. Problem is, with that good man, he's going to take you to the moon. It might take a little bit longer to get there. You might not go straight up and come back down. See, what y'all like to do is get on these rides. Hey, make it quick for me. All the way up, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. And y'all keep on chasing that high. Oh, this is too fast. Modern women are modern day drug dealers. Drug dealers of dating. Well, you have a lot of drug dealers who have talked about, man, I'm getting that fast money. Trying to work a stable job, but it's just not, the money ain't fast enough. And they go back out there and they start selling it again. Modern women are that same way. Oh, I can't do nothing with a good man, a stable man. I gotta go out there and get that fast attention. I gotta go out there and get that fast validation. I need somebody to give me right now. Chad and Tyrone give you exactly what you're looking for, but then you still sitting by yourself at Thanksgiving and Christmas. So what did you really gain?